Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Press Box. It is Friday, October 25th. Holy smokes. It is Friday, October 25th. I'm Timmy.
And I'm Steven.
And we're here to answer the call. Good morning, guys. Oh, man. Were we ever wrong last night or what? Well, we were right on one game. We got absolutely. I don't even know the word I'm looking for right now because that is how bad of a beatdown the Pittsburgh Panthers did on the Syracuse Orange last night. And, it's not in our call out section. That's in about 30 minutes or so. But I would like to go ahead and call out myself and Steven because we were both wrong. We felt that Syracuse had enough in it to sneak out with the win, and we were wrong, guys. And I'm here, and no one saw that coming though. Kyle McCord, former Ohio State quarterback, who I actually got word that the reason that he transferred from Ohio State is because he wanted to be the number one guy. And, they brought in Will Howard, and they were like, hey, you're going to compete. And he said no, he wants to be the QB1. So he transferred to Syracuse so he can go around and smack around some teams and beat up on these lesser teams. But I'm going to tell you right now, he's the one that got smacked around last night.
He got smacked around hard.
So Kyle McCord was 35 of 64. So first of all, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
You're throwing the ball 64 times in a game? That never spells winning unless it's like just an absolute shootout. And I mean, you're throwing the ball. But you only completed 35. That's red flag number 2, okay? This man threw 5 interceptions in the game, 3 of them being pick sixes, all in the first half on the pick sixes. That is a recipe for disaster, and Pitt is undefeated. They're 7-0 for the first time since 1982. Dan Marino is their quarterback, y'all. Dan Marino, Hall of Famer Dan Marino, was the last time that Pitt was 7-0. I don't know. Are we sleeping? Have we been sleeping on this Pitt team, or what? Because I mean, they're sitting at 7-0, and I mean, I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like right off the top of my head, but I'm sure we could find out real quick.
Yeah, let's go look at this real quick.
Yeah, why don't you look at that, and I'll give my insights here. Pitt is 7-0. They're in the ACC. So, I mean, I don't know if they have to play Miami yet, or if that's going to be a conference championship game. But right now, guys, Pitt is do they have a hard one?
They got SMU next week.
Oh, that should be a shootout. That should be a shootout.
Virginia the next week.
Yeah.
Clemson the week after.
Oh, I forgot about Clemson. Oof.
Louisville the week after that, and then Boston College in the final week of the season.
Okay, so they got SMU. Virginia,
Clemson, Louisville, and Boston College.
Oh. That SMU team is kind of sneaky good, so I don't know. This could be a case where they go 2-3. 3-2 at best. I mean, I don't know. That Louisville game could be a flip of the coin. That's a tough, pretty little schedule at the end of the season. So,
yeah, that's really tough at the end of the season, right there.
Wow. I don't know if I like their chances now. I was thinking maybe they were just beating up on the little teams.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
I mean, they're still 7-0 in the ACC, so that is still pretty impressive. And I mean, you can't take away the 41-13 dominating win last night. So that happened last night, and there was also another game, and a lot of people probably were tuned into this one. I know I was for the majority of it. I think I left with
like 8 minutes left.
8 minutes left in the game. I had to get up early for work, so I text Steven. I said, "All right, man, you're gonna have to fill me in on the gap." But I actually got off work a little earlier than I expected, and I was able to sit down and kind of watch that last 8 minutes. And were the refs blind last night or what?
Yeah, they were something, that's for sure.
And guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, we are simply talking about the safety call. The Rams were up 28-21 or 28-20, sorry.
28-20.
Yeah, 28-20. And the Rams defender, he sacks Sam Darnold, but as he's doing it, he just grabs a big old handful of face mask right in front of an official. I mean, he's looking right at him. And the defender even put his hands up on his helmet because he knew he made a mistake. But the ref didn't call it, and afterwards he said he was covering his ears because it was too loud in there. I'm calling BS on that. I don't know about you.
Yeah, he knew what he did. He knew straight up what he did.
Yeah, you don't instantly just grab your head, because man, I'm frustrated. Or it's too loud. No, you play in that game all game, and the noise isn't an issue then. But the bigger picture is here. The refs missed that call, and we don't know what would have. I mean, obviously that would have been a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. We don't know what the Vikings could or would have done. So in a sense, I feel like we were cheated a little bit, and that's not taking anything away from what the Los Angeles Rams did, because I mean it was a great game, back and forth. I think the first 4 drives had 28 points scored, 261 yards of offense between both teams, and I can't remember how many first downs. So the fact of the matter is it was a great game. And for it to kind of end like that it's a shame. Can't always, I get it. The refs are human and they make mistakes, but on this one, I mean, you're maybe 5 feet from the action. You had a front row seat. You saw, the whole world saw Sam Darnold's head get twisted like a freaking pop bottle cap.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was.
Oh, go ahead.
There was no excuse for that, and even if you didn't see the face mask part, but you see the head twist, you automatically know that's going to be either A, a horse collar tackle, or B,
right,
a face mask. You just can't turn somebody's head like that just tackling them.
And
so,
I mean, it was a scoring play, and all scoring plays are reviewable, but not this one, because face mask calls are not reviewable. Therefore, they didn't throw the flag. Therefore, they can't go back and review it and then, say, hey, there was face masking. So the fact that the call didn't get made was key in this, because had the call got made, they could have went back and looked at it, and they would have said, yep, there was face masking and first down Vikings. They didn't call it. It was a safety. Of course, then the ball goes back to the Rams in that situation, and Rams were just able to run the clock out and come out with a 10-point win. So,
yeah, and Trey Blake, the umpire who missed that call, came out and said that Sam Darnold was facing away from him, so he actually didn't see the face mask, which technically by the rule, by the definition of the rule, you have to see the actual face mask part for it to be a face mask call. So if his view was blocked, because of the quarterback, because he was kind of cockeyed behind him, I could see. how you might not see the hand on the face mask. So you can't call it just based on the QB's head turning, which is unfortunate. They probably should amend that rule to where
I feel like they can throw. They should be able to throw a flag because if they call it and then they were like, "Hey, no, that wasn't face masking, safety," But because they didn't throw that flag, they weren't able to review it at all. Also,
I don't think even if you throw the flag that you can review the face mask.
No,
so
you
if he would have
can't. You
thrown it,
can't review the face mask, but I mean, if he called it, then the safety, yeah, they would have been able to review it based off of it being a safety. But I mean, the flag would have canceled that out, right? My take on this is, I watched this play a few times today, and I watched it from a few different angles. I wanted to make sure from what I saw, what would have been his point of view. I still don't know how you missed that. Because you can clear as day see that even if it's not a face, you can see that his hand is up in the quarterback's helmet area. So, and they're real big on not putting hands to the face, especially to the quarterback. They could have called something. I feel like they didn't. They missed it, and it's a Rams win, and that's nothing to take away. But now the Rams win. They're what, 3-4?
Yeah.
What if Buffalo comes to Seattle on Sunday and smacks around the Seahawks? What if Cowboys go to San Francisco and come out with a victory? All of a sudden, the Rams are right back in the AFC or NFC West talk. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. This is gonna make it interesting. And now Sean McVay's coming out and saying, "Hey, you know what? We got Cooper Kupp back, and I expect it to stay that way." Like he's basically shutting down all trade rumors.
Well, I mean, the trade rumors were already shut down. His asking price was way too high, and he was owed way too much money for any team to realistically take him on. And I mean, kudos to the Rams for doing their due diligence and trying to find a trade partner, but their asking price was just way too high. And once higher caliber receivers started going for third and fourth and fifth round picks, it pretty much ended any chance of them getting a second round pick for Kupp.
Sam Darnold this year, guys. Sam Darnold's actually kind of made history. Sam Darnold is the first quarterback since 1950 to start for 4 different teams by the age of 28 years old. The Jets drafted him, didn't develop him right, gave up on him. He signs with the Panthers. Doesn't do bad. They give up on him. He signs with the 49ers. He started, then he got hurt. Brock Purdy comes in, and they stay with Brock Purdy. And now he's playing his best ball in Minnesota. They're 5-2. My fear is, are they going to turn out to be like the 2016 Vikings? Are they going to be like the 2016 Vikings where, they got these wins and then they lose 2? They actually go like the 2016 end up losing like 3 or 4 in a row. And then they miss the playoffs. I mean, is that something that's going to happen, bud? Or
I mean, realistically, before the season, everybody thought, the last 2 games is what we were going to get out of the Vikings. They were going to be competitive, but they weren't going to be competitive enough to win the big game.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're kind of playing to what our preseason expectations of them were. They're good. Their offense is good. Their defense lets them down a little bit. And I don't know. I mean, once you have a team with multiple weapons like the Rams, it's really hard to cover all those weapons. You got Kyron Williams coming out of the backfield. You got Cooper Kupp. You got Puka Nacua. Who else got involved last night? Jefferson.
Yep.
Jefferson got involved last night. The tight end got involved last night. I mean, it's a lot of bodies.
It's a lot of bodies. Sean McVay. Sean McVay is still the third youngest coach in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Sean McVay only has 2 head coaches that are younger than him in the NFL. Mr. Gerard Mayo, head coach of the Patriots. Gerard Mayo was okay. So Sean McVay was born January 24th, 1986. Gerard Mayo, February 23rd, 1986. And then is it Mike McDonald, head coach of the Seahawks?
Mike McDaniel. Oh no, it is McDonald.
Mike McDonald. He was born June 26, 1987. So those 2 coaches are the only 2 coaches. Now, I said that because there are more head coaches that come from Sean McVay's staff than there are coaches that are younger than him. There are 4 head coaches that come from the Sean McVay coaching, like LaFleur for Green Bay, O'Connell for the Vikings, Taylor for the Bengals, and Raheem Morris for the Falcons. Only 4. Those 4 coaches all come from Sean McVay's staff at one point. Only two are younger than Sean McVay. That is a crazy, interesting stat that I saw this morning. I was like, holy crap! There's more coaches that come from Sean McVay than there are people younger than Sean McVay. So, we got a lot to talk about. We got 15 games to go through today, guys. We got the Coll Out coming out. We got a lot to talk about. You got anything juicy you want to share with the class?
Nope, not really.
No.
Pretty unspectacular, uneventful outside of the penalty for that game.
It wasn't uneventful. I mean, it was back and forth most of the game, so it was a game. It was a game. I was like, holy cow! It was 7-0, 7-7. It was back and forth. So
it really wasn't though to me, because like outside of the first 2 drives where both teams scored, and then up until like the end of the third quarter, that those 2 sections right there were good. The second quarter and most of the third were just kind of humdrum.
It was still a back and forth game, like they score. We score.
You got your opinion on that. I just don't agree that it was back and forth. I was looking for more of like a shootout type scenario, and it just didn't happen, and it kind of disappointed me.
I mean, it kind of was a shootout though. Like in the beginning, that's the true definition of a shootout. Just because it doesn't last the whole game doesn't mean that it's not a shootout. A shootout can happen for a quarter, for a half, all game. But I mean, all in all, it was back and forth. They scored, Rams scored, Vikings scored, and then they kind of, the defenses kind of made some adjustments, and got the stops, and they kind of stayed put. But I mean, all in all, I thought it was a great Thursday night game. And I'm usually not big on Thursday night games. They're not usually. They tend to, swing one way or another. But when you have 2 great offensive-minded head coaches like the Vikings and the Rams do, it did make for a pretty nice, interesting game through all. Like overall, I'm not saying like piece here, piece there. I mean, overall, it was a good game. All right. Let's see what we got. So Ken Dorsey's going to do the play calling for Cleveland against Baltimore. Which, I mean, he's offensive coordinator. Shouldn't he be calling the plays? But that happened. So, we're almost here, ready to start making our picks. But do you want to do the call out now? You want to go and get that out of the way?
Yeah, we can. Let's do it.
It's time for the call out, guys. Where Steven and I call you out. We are calling you out. First up, and I kind of hope that this stays. Um, Dexter Lawrence leads the NFL in sacks as a 340-pound nose tackle. The heaviest single season sack leader was 305 by Kevin Carter in 1999. Dexter Lawrence, man, come on. You're leading the league in sacks. Let's go. Keep it up, buddy. And let's see if you can be the heaviest single season sack leader in history. No, you didn't like that one? You didn't like that one?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Okay. Here's one that you can probably respect. Okay. Kyren Williams has scored a touchdown in 10 straight games. Okay, so he's on a 10-game streak where he scores at least a touchdown. He joins the ranks of Randy Moss with 10. Arian Foster has 11. Priest Holmes has 11. Marshawn Lynch, 11. Jonathan Taylor, 11. Todd Gurley, 11. So, I mean, if he gets a touchdown next week, he's going to tie all those guys. Christian McCaffrey, 14. And LaDainian Tomlinson with 18 and 10-game streaks. So, LaDainian Tomlinson had multiple times that he had 10-plus games with a touchdown. And Kyren Williams joins that company. So, kudos to Mr. Kyren Williams.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I mean, a touchdown in 10 straight games. Dating back, obviously, to last season. But, I mean, 10 straight. If you have him on your fantasy team, you like to see him, which I have him in a couple of leagues. So, after we do this call out, I actually want to talk about the fantasy part where he made his call and I made my call, and we're going to talk about that after this call out segment, right before we make our picks. Justin Jefferson now has the most 100-plus receiving yard games in the first 5 seasons with 31. He passes Randy Moss. That's elite company right there. That's elite company to pass Randy Moss.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, is he going to go down as the greatest Viking receiver ever?
The greatest Viking receiver? Yes. The greatest receiver ever? Probably not.
We'll have to see. If he stays healthy and he continues this trend, I mean, maybe in 5-6 years from now, we could be having a different discussion.
Yeah, maybe. But to me, nobody's ever going to be able to top what Jerry Rice did. Because I don't know. Maybe he does. I also feel like Rice actually had good quarterbacks throughout his entire career, whereas Justin Jefferson had Kirko and, which is a good quarterback. He's not great by any means. Sam Darnold. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay,
we'll see if he actually gets a really good quarterback like J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy turns out to be a hit, then it's possible.
Well, J.J. McCarthy could be like, Jordan Love and sit a few years. So, anyway, Justin Jefferson, man, you're balling out. You're exciting. You're fun to watch. Keep up the great work. You're having a great career already, and I'm looking forward to, seeing how many more 100-yard games and how many more records you can smash. So, kudos to you. Cooper Kupp has 53 receiving touchdowns, tying Elroy Hirsch for 3rd all-time in Rams history. So, good job, Cooper, man. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't really speak great volumes about the Rams' receiving history if he's tied third all time. But kudos to Cooper Kupp, man. I like what you're doing.
Yeah.
I hope you stay with the Rams. I hope you stay with Sean McVay. If Stafford ends up leaving, I hope they bring you in another great quarterback, and you can continue your dominance. So
I can only think of 2 receivers in Rams history, and that's Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. Is that sad? Those are literally the only 2 I could think of that were ever good.
what was that one guy? Oh, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt.
They had Eric Dickerson, which is a running back.
Yeah. Wow.
I can't think of any
Todd
other
Gurley was running
wide
back.
Yeah. I can't think of any other wide receivers that were
Wow.
outside of Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua.
Wow.
Can't think of one.
We're gonna have to do some investigating in our off time here because I really want to know now. I really want to know. But I mean, nothing on Cooper Kupp. 53 touchdowns already in your career. Good job. I mean, you didn't start out as a stud, but I mean, you become a stud in this offense. So, and we're gonna call out Pittsburgh's defense, the Panthers' defense from last night. They had 5 interceptions, 3 pick sixes, 4 sacks, 9 tackles for loss. They brought the pressure. They got to Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord, they were playing the wrong chords last night. Let's just say that. They couldn't find the right chords with Mr. Kyle McCord because that defense was all over you. And I actually seen this play. Guy. They had so much pressure on him. He was trying to scramble out of the pocket and make a play, right? That his foot actually kind of gets caught in the grass and he just falls down. I mean, he didn't get injured on the play. He just but it was just he knew that they were coming and he just kind of fell down. So maybe he got scared. Maybe he was seeing ghosts. I don't know. But that Pittsburgh defense was all over him and dominated, and that's what helped. That's what helped the win because honestly, I don't think the box score was too good in that. In terms of, I mean, Pitt's offense. I don't feel like they really did a whole lot. But let's check this out here. So Pittsburgh's offense, okay. The quarterback was 11 of 15, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nothing spectacular. They actually put in their backup, who went 5 of 7 for 36 yards. They only had 73 yards rushing as a team on 22 carries, no touchdowns. So literally, it was literally the defense of Pitt that, carried Pitt to a 7-0 victory, or not a 7-0 victory, but a 7-0 start over Syracuse last night.
Yeah, that was all defense.
Yeah. And let's look at Syracuse, while we're still on this real quick. Syracuse. Yeah, Kyle McCord, 35 64, 321, no touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Wow. Kyle McCord rushing, because sacks in college count as negative rushing yards for the quarterback. Kyle McCord was 9 for negative 32, but he had a touchdown. He had a rushing touchdown. So the team scored 2 rushing touchdowns. They had 29 carries for 6 yards as a team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's 0.2 yards per carry, by the way. 0.2 yards per carry. So no real shock there. If you're not doing anything on offense, you're not going to win. But anyway, guys, that was a call out. We called those people out. And wow, what a call out section that was. That was an interesting one. All right, so we both picked the Rams last night, and the Rams won 30-20, as we've already stated. So we're already both off to a 1-0 start. That's a great start for a week, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
That's a great.
I don't ever pick Thursday night right.
Thursday night's a hard one to pick right. It's hard to pick right. All right. Next up, we actually don't have a London game this week.
Thank goodness.
We have a couple. We have a couple of weeks, and then we have Giants Panthers in Germany.
Yep.
Next up is Saints and the Chargers.
Chargers all the way.
Oh, Chargers all the way.
No Derek Carr. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
No Derek Carr.
This is a home game, which I mean it's in LA, so it's probably going to be more of an away game for the Chargers than a home game. But I look for Jim Harbaugh to have the team ready this week. The Saints are a little banged up. They're getting healthy. They're starting to get healthy. Chris Olave might play, but Alvin Kamara has been playing with a broken hand and ribs since week 5 against the Chiefs. That doesn't bode well, and he plans to not have a procedure done until after the season. I actually like the Chargers here as well. I think the Saints' run defense isn't able to stop people, and I think Jim Harbaugh just says, "Hey, J.K. Dobbins, hey, just run for like 200 yards in this game." And I look for the Chargers to have over 200 yards rushing as a team in this game.
That's quite a bit. I don't think 300 happens, but
I didn't say 3. I said 2.
Oh, it sounded like you said 3.
Oh, no. 200.
200 I could see. I was like, wait, you're not. Yeah, there's no way you're rushing for 300 yards as a team. But 200, yeah, realistic.
Ravens do it.
I'm going to say this nicely. Justin Herbert is not Lamar Jackson, and J.K. Dobbins is not Derrick Henry.
No, they're not. But this should be where the Chargers kind of get it right. So I like the Chargers in this one. Well, this next one we disagree on because this is his hot take of the week. If you remember, we had the Jets and the Patriots. It's in Foxborough. And earlier in the week, Steven here, his hot take of the week that said no ifs, ands, or buts, the Patriots would come out with a win versus the Jets. You care to share with the class?
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it. I just want the Jets to lose. I like seeing Aaron Rodgers miserable. I don't know. I'm a petty person, evidently, because anything to ruin Aaron Rodgers' day is going to make me happy.
All right, so he's got the Patriots, and we are going to disagree because I actually like the Jets here. Now Devontae Adams has had a full week in this offense.
Let me ask you something. Though. There's a chance Aaron Rodgers doesn't play in this game. Do you still like the Jets?
Well, okay, if I mean, and we're making these picks now, okay. Obviously, there is a chance he doesn't play, but I have heard that he's trending upward, and that he's most likely to play. I like the Jets here. Now, I mean, it is worth noting if Aaron Rodgers doesn't start, it could get ugly real quick. But I'm gonna stand by it. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Jets. I've already wrote down all my picks. I had it wrote down like 2 nights ago. I wanted to kind of get a head start on the week. I went back over it last night, while watching Thursday Night Football, and I am sticking with my pick here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Jets. We've got to disagree somewhere. I think Devontae Adams, like I said, he has a full week. He's kind of now familiar with the new offensive coordinator a little bit better. The Patriots have been struggling. They don't have really the playmakers on offense. And I don't know. I mean, at some point, either A, this has got to get right, or B, we're just going to keep poking fun of them. So.
And the trend of poking fun of them will continue on Monday morning.
So just know, I will eat the words, happily eat the words if the Patriots pull this win off. So let's see. Next up should be no contest. And if it is, we're roasting some people on Monday. Titans at the Lions. And if the Lions do not win this, we better have like a whole Detroit Lion organization meeting to discuss what happened here, because there is no way the Lions should lose this game.
Yeah, this Lions win through and through.
Better team.
It doesn't even have the making. It doesn't even have the makings of a trap game. I mean, Will Levis now has Calvin Ridley to throw to. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's if Will Levis starts. I mean, it could be Mason Rudolph for all we know. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, either way, they're both trash QBs. They're not good. Yeah. This is a Detroit Lions win, even without Jameson Williamson.
They will. Yeah. They don't need Jameson Williams. In this one. Next up is the Packers and the Jags. I already know his pick. We already know his pick, guys. He doesn't need to tell me this pick because I already know his pick. He's going to take the Packers because he just cannot root for Doug Peterson.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to take the Packers because they're the better team too, but you know, any chance I get to roast Doug Peterson, it's a great day. And I swear, if you pick the Jaguars here, if you even have to think about this, I'm gonna come down there and smack you silly. I'm gonna smack some sense into you.
Well, I guess you better start the drive then. Because I am taking the Jags. They're at home. They got a win last week. Okay, they got the juices going, and they're no. I'm kidding, guys. I like the Packers here. I like the Packers.
I was gonna say what prime example. What happened the last time they got a win? That very next week they got smacked around in London.
Packers are a far better team than what the Patriots are. I like the Packers here. You know, Josh Jacobs last week finally scored a receiving touchdown after 211 catches without one. Christian Watson expected back. You know, so many weapons for Jordan Love to throw to. And that defense has been pretty good, guys. And the Packers are like, hey, Vikings just lost on Thursday night. We're going to play with some intensity and try to take over the lead of this NFC North. So I like the Packers in this one, guys. I like them.
Yep.
Now this one here, it's like a coin flip, okay? And I think that's actually what we talked about yesterday. I think that's what we were talking about yesterday before the show. We were kind of running through the games, and this is a coin flip for the both of us. We have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. I like the Bengals here, guys. I like the Bengals. It's a home game. You know, now the offense is finally starting to gel. T. Higgins is there. Jamar Chase. Nick Sirianni, I'm still not sold on him as a coach. And he wants to shave his head to try to, you know, make a difference. And, okay, you know, but I just don't think the Eagles soar very high in this game. I think the Bengals are going to keep them on the ground, and it should be a close game, but because it's at home, I do like the Bengals here.
And see, I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to take the Eagles here. For one reason and one reason only, they have the better running back. Saquon Barkley is an absolute stud. Wide receiver wise, I feel like they kind of match up well. Where Philadelphia really just destroys Cincinnati is in the running back room. Defenses kind of match up well. I would argue that Jalen Hurts at the moment is a better quarterback than Joe Burrow.
Wow.
But for the most part, throughout their careers, they've been pretty even killed. I look for them to get Saquon going early and just ride Saquon to this win.
Gonna ride him to the victory. Okay. Okay. I like it. I like that take. It's interesting. You can comment and let us know whose take you got. You got Team Timmy or Team Steven throughout this. Next up is Falcons and Bucks. Falcons and Bucks. Falcons at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay doesn't have Mike Evans, doesn't have Chris Godwin.
Yeah, this is a game the Falcons should win by a landslide. Tampa Bay just doesn't have enough weapons to compete with Atlanta. Unfortunately, losing Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, outside of K. Doughton and 3 running backs, what do you have to throw to? And I mean, a couple of those running backs you don't ever throw to. Yeah.
I actually picked the Falcons here as well. They have the better offense right now because now if Mike Evans and or Chris Godwin was available, I would have been Team Bucks all the way on this.
Yeah.
But having those two caliber, I mean, now teams can stack the box. And Baker's going to have a good game because Baker, he's a good quarterback. But the fact is this is not a primetime game, so we don't have to worry about the curse of Kirk Cousins in primetime. This is just a measly old afternoon game. Don't even think it's a nationally televised game. So this is one that I like the Falcons to win. And they should be able to win pretty easily. Like he said, they don't have a whole lot of weapons on that Tampa side. They've been getting Kyle Pitts going in the last 3 games, and so yeah, I really like the Falcons here as well. All right, we have the Cardinals and the Dolphins. Who do you got?
Well, it's going to be a Miami win. Cardinals are not playing good football. They're squeaking by the skin on their teeth. Dolphins finally get Tua back, and we know how good that offense is with Tua. First quarter is probably going to be a little rough, shaking off the rust and everything, but after that, he's going to get Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle going, and this has the makings for a Miami win.
Did you hear what Tyreek said in terms of if fantasy owners have him?
No.
Effing start me. We're going to light it up.
He's probably not wrong.
I like the Cardinals here just because this is Tua's first game back. So I think in the beginning the cobwebs might be a little too much. And now once this offense gets going, Steven's absolutely right, and they're going to put up the points. I just think that the Cardinals defense kind of contains a little bit in the beginning, and maybe Tua makes an early mistake, and that helps the Cardinals get out to an early lead. So I like the Cardinals. It's going to be a very close game, though. I think it's going to be a really close game. Also, we have the Ravens and the Browns. I'm just going to go ahead and put it. I'm just going to go ahead and put your initial next to the Ravens.
Unfortunately.
I do too. I as well like the Ravens. The Ravens are the better team. Offense, defense, special teams, offensive line, defensive line. They're just better overall. And
yep.
I know this has all the makings of a trap game. Jameson Winston coming back, and Ravens are focused right now, and they have one mission: win ball games, make the playoffs, and make it and try to make a Super Bowl run. Okay, That is the Ravens' mission. That is why they brought in Derrick Henry. And I'm sorry, who's going to stop Lamar and King Henry in this game? No one.
Nobody.
So,
And I will actually take the Ravens have 3 missions, but I will take it a step further. You know, number 1 seed in the AFC, make the playoffs, beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, because that's where they have really under exceeded the last couple years, is they can't get past the Chiefs.
No one has. No one has.
Yeah. But of all the teams that should have been able to do it, the Ravens have always been, to me, the closest. You know, it was always, Lamar just couldn't show up during those games, unfortunately. Like, he'd show up in spurts
And last year they didn't have a run game, so they tried to put it all on Lamar, and that didn't work out either.
Yeah.
Oh, next up, we have a AFC South matchup. And guys, this is a tale of two teams, honestly. Right now, the Colts are kind of trending upward, and the Texans are kind of sliding a bit here lately. We have the Colts at the Texans. I'm probably going to go ahead and shock somebody, and I'm going to go ahead and take the Colts here. Like I said, the Colts are trending upward. Jonathan Taylor's healthy, so he's going to be able to get there. The Texans have been struggling, and especially in the red zone, they've been struggling. And they've been struggling to protect C.J. Stroud. He's been sacked and pressured a lot here in the last couple of games. I think the Colts front four kind of put a little bit of pressure, making him, not be able to sit in the pocket like he's used to. And I think this is one that the Colts kind of squeeze by. So,
yeah, I'm actually going to take the Colts here as well. No Nico Collins in this game. Stephon Diggs really hasn't done much. Tank Dell, I don't think, is back yet. Or is he? No, he just hasn't played well.
No.
Yeah, they got Joe Mixon. He's had a couple nice weeks since being back, but I don't think that's enough to overcome Indianapolis. C.J. Stroud, the sophomore slump is in full effect right now. He has not played as well as last year. This has all the makings for a Colts win.
Very good take. Very good take. Next up is Bills Seahawks, and you go ahead and take it away first.
Oh, this is tough for me. Buffalo hasn't played the greatest the last couple of weeks. Seattle kind of found something last week. I feel like it is a home game for Seattle, so I think I'm gonna go Seattle in this situation. I can easily see the Bills winning it. It's gonna be a close game, but I think the Seahawks being at home, having that 12th man, the crowd and the fans in the stands, is going to be the difference in this game.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, I like the Seahawks as well. Right now it's anybody's race in the NFC West. The Rams just won, but right now but the Seahawks are still sitting up top. They know that they have to win, and they can't rely on other teams to lose. Like you said, that 12th man, Seattle's a real loud stadium. It wasn't the loudest stadium in the NFL until the Chiefs did it. Set that record a few years back. Now, I will say if DK does not play, this actually kind of becomes more in the Bills' favor. But yeah, go ahead and give me the Seahawks at home on this one.
Yep. And I would say even without DK, they got Charbonnet, they got Kenneth Walker, Tyler Lockett. I think they could still overcome it. Noah Fant. I actually look for them to get Noah Fant going in this game.
Wow. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go to this next one, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put I'm gonna go ahead and put your initial next to the Broncos, because breaking news: Panthers have ruled out wide receivers Dante Johnson and Adam Thielen for Sunday's game at Denver.
That's really unfortunate.
Who is Bryce Young going to throw to? I like the Broncos in this. I think it's actually going to be a blowout. I thought it was going to be a blowout with those two people playing. Now, who's he going to throw the ball to? This is a really unfortunate set of events for Bryce Young. And if you remember, in the fantasy segment, we had some Bronco players that we liked and could be boom and bust, and now it's really looking like Javonte Williams is definitely going to be a good pick for you because this could be a blowout and they just start running the ball.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for Bryce Young. He's got Xavier Leggett to throw to now, rookie, which isn't great. This is a game where I wanted to be able to pick Carolina, just simply because I really don't like the Broncos. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to take the Broncos here. The football gods have left me no choice.
The football gods.
So yeah, this if Denver just doesn't come out and have their way with them, if this is a close win for Denver, I'm gonna roast them on Monday. 100%.
Sounds like we could be roasting a lot of people on Monday.
This if Denver just and Sean Payton don't go in there and have their way against Carolina and a banged up offense, then we're gonna have to talk about the Broncos.
Yeah, there's no reason that the Broncos shouldn't get this. It's at Denver. Even if it was at Carolina, I would still pick the Broncos. But I mean, this is a home game. This next game is the one that when the schedule got posted, it kind of became the one that I was circling on the calendar because I got excited. Now some of that excitement might be taken away from me, and that's really disappointing. And that's the Chicago Bears with number 1 overall pick Caleb Williams, and the Washington Commanders with number 2 overall pick Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is banged up. He got hurt in the last game with a rib injury. He didn't practice Wednesday. He didn't practice yesterday. That is not showing tail signs of him being able to play. Obviously, we're doing this show before the practice status comes out today. I'm going to take the Bears. I think if Jaden Daniels doesn't play, this is just a game where the Commanders can't overcome, because I think the Bears defense is going to apply pressure to Marcus Mariota and make him throw the ball to win this game. And that's not really Mariota's strong point. I mean, yeah, he can throw the ball, but his strong point is, read option, getting on the outside perimeter. I look for them to stack the box so the running backs can't really get anything going. And I like the Bears in this one. Give me Caleb and the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to take Caleb and the Bears as well, especially if Jaden Daniels doesn't play. If Jaden Daniels played, I think this is a game where I could easily see myself picking Washington.
Oh yeah.
Mariota, as good as he is, he's not Jaden Daniels. And it really kind of handicaps the offense. Give me the Bears. It's probably going to be a close game, but it's ultimately going to be the Bears.
All right, next up, guys. Well, we agree on this one. No contest. Chiefs and Raiders. Although,
yep.
I mean, the Raiders are the last team to beat the Chiefs. But stop it. That was late last season, and that was a game when the Chiefs were already looking good in the division. So losing to them didn't really matter. Now that they're getting DeAndre Hopkins, he's probably going to play a little bit. We don't know the role. Obviously, he'll probably play, a good amount of snaps. That way he just kind of gets familiar with Patty. And DeAndre Hopkins is, so if he plays and they actually, decide to give him the ball, he's excited because he said, I haven't been able to play meaningful football in a long time. So DeAndre Hopkins is excited to go to Kansas City. Raiders don't have anybody. They traded Devontae Adams. They got Booger Picker Eater Minshew as their quarterback. And that is forever his nickname for me until he does something to change my mind on that. But when you get caught on the sideline picking your nose and eating your boogers, well, that's the name you're going to earn with me. And I just think this Chiefs, this Chiefs offense is too good now. The defense, no one really talks about, but they need to be. And this is a game where the Chiefs come in. Andy Reid, Patty Mahomes.
So it's gonna.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was gonna say this is a game I look for. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes to kind of get a little creative. They like to bust out these trick plays. I look for it to be one that they just, it's the Raiders in Vegas. Let's, kind of add insult to injury.
Yeah, this is a game the Chiefs should easily win. The smartest thing for the Raiders to do here is to get Brock Bowers going. KC is horrible against stopping the tight end. Scheme ways to get him open, get the ball to him, and force it down the Chiefs' throat. Outside of Brock Bowers, you don't scare me. This should easily be a KC win.
Chiefs could just double team Brock. I mean, who else are they gonna throw to?
That's not even against good teams. That's not the Chiefs' recipe on defense. They hardly ever double team people.
I know this, but I'm just saying, like, that would be a way. It's just like, okay, Brock Bowers. Now I'm gonna make. I don't even know another Raiders receiver off the top of my head.
Trey Tucker
doesn't scare me. Against the Kansas City's worst defender, he doesn't scare me. So Chiefs all the way.
And it's going to be the Chiefs. Either way, even if they get Brock going.
Well, this next game, we disagree on. I'm pretty sure we're going to disagree on this one. It's Sunday Night Football.
Yep.
And of course, I've got to stick with my hot take, because if you guys remember on Tuesday, my hot take of the week was the Cowboys would go to San Francisco, to Santa Clara, and get a win against the 49ers. So I'm picking the Cowboys. I think the 49ers are a little too banged up right now. Old man Jerry, I don't know, like, after getting embarrassed on your birthday, I hope you had some kind of motivational speech for your team, because, you're definitely going to need it. I'm sticking by the Cowboys. It was my hot take. I can't take it back. My initials already next to the Cowboys. I just think that this is one that Jerry feels like he's going to need to win. And he's got the boys rallied on this one. He's rallying the troops for this one.
No, this is a 49ers win. And let me tell you why. Kyle Shanahan's a better coach. Brock Purdy's the better quarterback. They have the better running back room. They have the better defense. The Cowboys' defense can't stop the pass, can't stop the run. Jordan Mason's going to run it down their throat. Debo's going to help run it down their throat. Look for George Kittle to get going this game.
Assuming that they all play.
Jordan Mason's playing. George Kittle is an engine. Debo Samuel is trending in the right direction. Even without Debo Samuel, San Francisco is still the better team. Period. Point blank. And if you think otherwise, you need to go to a mental hospital, check yourself in, and get some psychiatric help.
Okay, so when the Cowboys win on Sunday,
I'll eat my words, but the Cowboys aren't going to win.
you guys
The
got
Cowboys-
you guys got to remember this now. Help me remember.
The Cowboys are a joke of a team. Mike McCarthy's a joke of a coach. Jerry Jones is a joke of an owner. This is a 49ers win through and through. They are the better team. They're the better coached team. That's all there is to it.
Well, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one. Mike McCarthy off of a bye is he's no one's as good as Andy Reid off of a bye, but he is one of the better coaches off of a bye, and that's the whole reason I took the Cowboys. But next up, we got the Monday night game, guys. I really wish they would have flexed because I really wish like we could have saw like Bears Commanders on Monday night or Colts Texans on Monday night. I don't know, something. Heck, I would have taken Jets Patriots on Monday night. You know, something. Eagles Bengals. I don't know, but Giants and Steelers. Come on, stop it. And you know, the owner, the owner's over there taking, you know, saying Brian Daboll and the GM, their jobs are safe for 2025. So
it's the right call.
That means
the right call.
That means Daniel Jones is probably going to be out this season.
Yep, it's absolutely the right call.
I don't care if Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, a left-handed Patrick Mahomes. Well, okay, maybe a left-handed Patrick Mahomes is still better than Daniel Jones. I wouldn't care if it was a right-handed Michael Vick. The Giants are not winning against the Steelers. Steelers defense is way too good for that. Way too good. So, Giants have Malik Neighbors, and that's it. And I feel bad for the kid. You know, if you get drafted as a wide receiver to the Giants, you're basically never going to win a Super Bowl. So, I'm picking Steelers all the way. Mike Tomlin is he's been, you know, great this year. Russell, you know, and he did Mike Tomlin what Mike Tomlin does, and he's all like, well, you know, both players are going to be ready to take first team snaps. I'm not buying it. Russell Wilson's the quarterback. He had to shake the rust off a little bit last week. But once he did, the Steeler offense got going, and I like the Steelers big in this.
Yeah, it's a Steelers win. I mean, that's just all there is. Steelers have the better defense. I mean, outside of Malik Neighbors, you just don't have anything going for you.
All right, guys. We got something real quick that we want to talk about. I actually forgot to before we started making our picks. Last night, Steven's player that he liked, quarterback, was Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had himself a pretty good game. I think in most formats he put up 20, 22 points.
Yep.
So kudos to Steven. He made a great call with that fantasy player pick. I as well had a great fantasy pick, and I said a player I did not like this week was Mr. Jordan Addison, and I would like to go ahead and take my humble brag. He had a whopping 4.2 points in PPR leagues. Jordan Addison was a no-go, and you know, Sam Darnold was. So we actually both got, you know, one of our players right already. So I like the start of our new little segment on Wednesdays where we do players we like and don't like. And we're off to a good start this week, bud.
Yep.
Off to a good start. Well, I think we're out of time for today, guys. And what a show we had. If you missed it, I'm sorry. You can go to Spotify and follow it there. Spotify podcast, Answer the Call. You have anything else you'd like to add before we head out?
Nope. I think we covered it all in this show.
Well, guys, you have a wonderful weekend. We will see you Monday morning. Have a great day. I'm Timmy.
And I'm Steven.
And we answer the call. See you guys later.